Hej, välkomna! Last time I introduced you to key performance indicators, KPIs, measurable metrics correlated to performance. Today I'm going to measure them and from a baseline for myself. I aim to do this every 3 months, and that way I can track my progress and identify problem areas. This will allow me to make sure that what I do in training and exercise outside of the fencing wall actually transfers into my fencing. I want to preface this by saying that this is proper nerdy shit. Most people will not benefit from doing something like this, and I'm not even sure I will. I want to recognize and respect that every fencer does this for different reasons and under different circumstances. If you just like going to fencing practice, doing a bit of fencing, maybe not so interested in competing or optimizing your performance, ignore this. If you want to optimize your performance but feel limited in time, my recommendation is that you prioritize fencing as much as possible, and again, ignore this part. However, if you have extra time and you feel a bit on the nerdy side when it comes to sports science, like me, you've come to the right place.
Alright, let's start with some background. This is me. My name is Gustav Stryhagen and I'm based in Stockholm, Sweden. I've been doing HEMA since autumn of 2017. During this time I've competed at 9 events. In this video we're gonna measure the following: change of direction speed with a modified 505 test, aerobic ability with a fencing specific beep test, top lunge velocity, lunge length, vertical jump height and lunge split distance. Alright, let's get to measuring.
So the first test we're going to do is the 505 test for change of direction speed. The test is normally performed by accelerating for 10 meters, then start measuring and cover additional 5 meters, change direction completely and cover the same 5 meters again. I, however, have modified this to be more fencing specific. So, no crossing your feet, only fencing footwork, as well as no changing of the direction you're facing. I've also shortened the acceleration strip to only 5 meters. This test can then be done in 4 different configurations, depending on which foot you have forward, as well as if you're starting by retreating or starting by marching. Alright, let's get to testing. In a similar way, I modified the 20-meter beep test, also known as the multi-stage fitness test or pacer test. My aim was again to be more fencing specific, so only using fencing footwork and keeping the same direction you're facing. I'll also shorten test to 10 meters and allow myself to switch feet every level. For those of you who don't know, the beep test is a test to measure maximum aerobic capacity, or your VO2 max. The basic premise is that you have to cover a stretch of 20 meters before the next beep, or in my case 10 meters. Every minute roughly the time between beep shortens and the speed increases by 0.5 kilometers per hour. And so you keep going faster and faster and faster until finally you can't keep up. And that level you reach is your final score.
Level 1 of the 20-meter beep test will start with a
Fy fan.
Next up is top lunge velocity as well as lunge length, followed by vertical jump height. Once again, I did 3 measurements with each foot forward, as well as 3 measurements with arm swing and 3 without arm swing. And then I noted the best score. In all my time measurements, I used my Pixel mobile phone camera with a slow motion feature, shooting at 120 frames per second. And then I counted the frames. That's how I got the time. The rest is simple maths. In my vertical jump height test, I also didn't rely on the ruler you see on screen. Instead, I calculated my jump height using my flight time. And finally, lunge split distance. Easy. I got into the most extended lunge I could, and then simply measured from heel to heel. Also with each foot forward. Now, before discussing the results, I want to give a word of warning. The purpose of these KPI measurements is to follow my own progress over time, not to measure up against any other person. Comparing person to person also has a limited value, since you don't get as much information that you can use to actually increase your performance and action capacity and become a better fencer. Caution should also be used to avoid hyper-focused on numerical goals and to avoid demoralization when, for example, comparing your own performance to that of a more fitter fencer. As I mentioned previously, the perception, action, tactical game of fencing is what's most important. And this is just a bonus to try and optimize our performance and increasing our own action capacities. So, let's summarize the data and see if we can learn something. Let's start with the 505 test. What jumps out most is that while there were no significant difference depending on if I had the right or left foot forward, I was significantly faster when I did the retreat march instead of the march retreat. I suspect that this is due to a better acceleration when moving forwards, as well as the opportunity to finish with a lunge. Similarly, during the beep test, I noticed I was better on the march than on the retreat, although I don't suspect that actually affected my final score. When it comes to the lunge tests, there was no real difference in either top lunge velocity or lunge length, depending on which foot I had forward. So I can't really comment on that. There was, however, a 12 centimeter difference in my lunge split distance, with me being more flexible with the right foot forward. This might be due to me being a right-handed fencer and more often ending up in an extended position with my right foot forward with, for example, lunges or passing steps, but I can't know for sure. So how do I plan on improving on my KPI measurements over the coming months? In short, Olympic lifts and plyometrics, HIIT, that is high intensity interval training, as well as stretching, and fencing of course. In order to improve top lunge velocity as well as jump height, explosivity is key. Exercises that improve rate of force generation and not just max strength are preferred. These include Olympic lifts as well as plyometric exercises. In order to improve maximum aerobic capacity, HIIT, high intensity interval training, is preferred. However, this can be straining for joints and muscles, so I'll mix in some low intensive cardio as well, such as jogging. HIIT also improves your lactic acid threshold. And for flexibility, I'll do stretches. Alright, thank you for watching this video. Check out part 1 if you haven't already. I will go more in depth regarding my target image for a week's worth of training in a future video, but my next video will be regarding my first competition since starting this project and my 10th competition overall, Trabant Cup in Lund. Alright, hurrah!